This chubby boy could create smoke with magic, and this girl could throw things away with magic. The other boy had the power to fly, but he didn't know how high he could go. So, the teacher tied a rope to him to determine his height. Just as the rope was about to run out, the boy suddenly stopped himself. Even when the teacher let go of the rope, he didn't rise further, making him happy that he could control his flight. In the end, the curly-haired girl tried to change her form but turned into an octopus cat, shocking everyone. The teacher was training these 4 children to control their magic. Meanwhile, the most talented girl in the magical school was getting trapped in the allure of a dark magic book. No matter where she went, the spirit of the book followed her. Driven by greed for dark power, she surrendered her body to the spirit, falling under the spell of black magic. The next day, at the school anniversary, this girl stepped forward to display her magic. She created a massive fireball, which made the principal sense something was wrong. A dark shadow appeared behind her, and suddenly, she transformed into the shadow itself, becoming a terrifying monster. The horrifying sight shocked everyone, and chaos ensued. At that moment, the teacher of the Fire Academy instructed her students to unite and attack the monster. They created a massive fireball and hurled it at the creature. But it vanished upon impact. Next, the students of the Flying Academy took to the field, but as soon as they attempted to fly, the monster roared loudly, pushing them back to the ground. Then, the teacher of the Transformation Academy ordered her students to change forms, but due to the monster's magic, they all turned into cows, dogs, cats, and chickens, completely useless in battle. Now, the last hope was with the Force Academy. They tried to restrain the monster with their magic, but instead, 3 more heads grew on the creature. All 4 academies had failed. Just then, the principal called upon the 4 students who couldn't yet control their magic. The strong girl used her power to shrink the monster back to its original form. Then, the chubby boy spread thick smoke to confuse the monster. The teacher called the flying boy, who soared behind the monster. But just as the monster was about to grab him, the girl used her magic to hurl a heavy bag at him, forcing him back to the ground. Finally, the curly-haired girl transformed into a black bat cat and flew around the monster, making it dizzy and causing it to collapse. The principal then ordered everyone to destroy the monster, but the black cat intervened. The curly-haired girl wanted to save her friend, who was trapped inside the dark creature. She called out to her friend, trying to wake her up. Suddenly, the monster created another fireball, terrifying everyone. But the curly-haired girl knew that her friend wouldn't harm anyone. Eventually, the trapped girl broke free from the dark magic. Her friend's unwavering support had saved her. After that, these 4 students, who once couldn't control their magic, became the pride of all the academy's. Second story. One morning, a man woke up to an eerie silence. As he left for work, the streets were empty. The traffic signals were still working, but the atmosphere felt strange. Suddenly, he spotted a tanker truck stuck in the road. He reacted quickly and barely avoided crashing into it. On his way, he heard sounds from a house. He knocked on the door, but no one responded. Finally, he broke the glass and entered. There was unfinished breakfast on the table. He went to the bed and lifted the blanket. It was still warm, as if someone had just left. This left him even more confused. He rushed toward the city center, usually filled with crowds, but it was completely deserted. Smoke rose from some areas, yet no one was there to put out the fires. He reached his office and tried calling around the world, but there was no response. Then it hit him, he might be the only one left alive. Determined to find answers, he searched every lab. Upon opening a door, he saw a colleague sitting on a chair. When he turned him around, the man was already dead. As the body fell, the security alarm blared, locking all doors and trapping him inside. He found a welding gun and a gas cylinder in the storage room. Lighting his lighter, he opened the gas valve and quickly took cover. A powerful explosion shattered the lab doors, allowing him to escape. Next, he went to a radio station and recorded a message, hoping to find survivors. He wrote his phone number and address on a giant board, believing someone else might still be alive. For days, he drove around the city in a police car, broadcasting messages through loudspeakers. At night, he made as much noise as possible, but no one came. Eventually, he gave up searching and started living freely. The entire world was now his. He chose a luxurious mansion and decorated his bathroom with famous paintings. Every morning, he cracked an egg into a cup, poured expensive champagne over it, and called it breakfast. When he felt like it, he drove cars straight into shopping malls, broke locks to take expensive clothes, and ate as many sweets as he wanted. He played with trains, threw solo parties, and did whatever he pleased. But in the end, loneliness was all that remained. At night, he talked to himself, wore women's clothes, and played different characters. He even began conversing with cardboard cutouts. A time came when he felt like even God had abandoned him. One day, in rage, he stormed into a church and started destroying things. The endless loneliness had taken away his ability to think. He was about to do something drastic when suddenly, a massive explosion shook the ground. It snapped him out of his trance. At that moment, he realized maybe the world hadn't left him, but rather, it was his duty to save it. He gathered supplies, searched for a new home, and started looking for a way to bring people back. Then, he heard footsteps outside. It was a woman. She had survived, too.